Hey, have you ever heard of a racist baby? Or what about white rage? Because it's all the rage now. And a movie about Karen. All that and more on the Celeste Caldwell Show. So first off, let me ask you this. Coming from a 12-year-old standpoint, what do you think white rage is? And what it entails? Like, what does it encompass?
Personally, I think it means, like, a white person that's mad.
You're absolutely right. There's not much to figure out, right? It says white rage, and it kind of defines itself.
Yeah.
I was really curious as to why I was listening to General Milley. Like, I've heard him recently speaking about the military and wanting to know more about white rage and what it is and yada yada yada. And I'm like, isn't it just white rage? Like white people raging? And what about other races? Like nobody else rages? Nobody else? Just white people? So I went online and I was looking for a definition, and I came upon the Urban Dictionary, and I found a definition of white rage. And it says, displaced anger by white Americans, especially males, typically manifested by hostility, resentment, or even violence towards people of color, immigrants, the LGBT community, and other more marginalized groups. So it means you're kind of racist because you're taking your anger out on these vulnerable groups.
Yeah. There's a thing called anti-discrimination laws.
Yeah.
So that means, like, basically means if you discriminate against this group, then that's illegal. Yeah. Or it's something like that, because I've heard about it somewhere.
Yeah, like when you go to work, you get a job, they can't discriminate against your color or race or your sexual, whatever you are. Like if you're male, female, or transgender, they can't discriminate against you. And also it goes, like with renting or buying a house, they can't discriminate you against what you are.
Oh, that doesn't count for white people.
No. We just rage all the time. And so also, like, looking in the Urban Dictionary, I got online and I was looking to see if there was any other types of rage, like anybody else that was singled out, like, you know, I don't know, Mexican rage, African rage, and I came upon an inappropriate Cuban rage, had nothing to do with getting mad, which was just very... Urban Dictionary is not always PG-13. I just want you to know that. So, FYI. So, in this definition, they gave an example. And this example goes something like this. Each morning, Colton looked at himself in the mirror and saw a pale, balding, overweight, mediocre schlub. Say that 5 times. Pale, balding, overweight, mediocre schlub. Anyway. And the white rage within him slowly built until one day Colton decided his life situation was the fault of a stranger. And guess who that stranger is?
Who?
Shadiq, his Middle Eastern neighbor down the street. So they had to give that example, of course. So anyway, yeah.
It's basically, you know, like you said, raging against vulnerable groups. Yeah. But if anything, they're not even that vulnerable.
But they were angry to begin with. These white angry males were so angry at something, like maybe stubbing their toe, and then they take their anger out on the poor little Middle Eastern guy down the street. But anyway, so yeah, this is all the rage. White rage is You're hearing it everywhere, and I think it's dangerous to be throwing around this term like that. What do you think? Like, do you think kids will just throw it around, like, you know, to get their way? Another way to get their way?
Oh, of course. They'll throw it around willy-nilly.
Yeah.
I watched this cartoon recently, and it had something similar, just like what you were saying about kids
Throwing around.
Yeah. It's really interesting. You should see it yourself.
What's the name of the cartoon?
I forgot it, but it's by Freedom Tunes.
Okay, that's a good one.
And it was about how IDs are racist and buying alcohol, and these kids dressed in a trench coat.
Okay.
But anyways, I do believe that these kids will just throw around these words, these slang terms, in CRT, critical race theory. It will even accelerate that process.
Yeah.
They'll learn it from their parents, they'll learn it at work, they'll learn it from school. So that's just, it is insane.
It seems dangerous.
It's absurd, really. It's absurd.
Wow. So, going on to our next topic of, do you want to do Karen?
Oh, Karen, okay.
So, Karen, did you see the trailer?
Oh, I have already.
Okay, cool. So, this is a movie about this lady who is a Karen, but she's not depicted as like the Karen I'm aware of, or that I labeled Karen. Karen to me is kind of the extra liberal, like, woman kind of Nazi, like the feminazis that like keep your mask on and you know, like you're not standing on the circle and you're not following the arrows at the store kind of type.
I'll talk
lady.
to your manager.
Yes. Or I'll call the police on you for not wearing your mask. And
Oh, that's what happened to us one time.
I know. We have a lot of stories about that. But anyway, this movie, this trailer is quite funny to me. Because it is not very realistic white supremacy at all.
It kind of seems like a joke to me.
Yeah, it seems over the top and like they tried way too hard to create some kind of, I don't know, it seems like they're trying any which way to divide.
Yeah.
Divide more.
And maybe we should maybe the audience should hear it.
Okay. Do you want to narrate while it's going, like what they're doing?
No.
Okay.
We'll just let them watch it, and then we're going to
Discuss it
afterwards.
Okay.
Here you go.
Guess this is a long way from East Point.
Baby, you just gotta give it a chance.
Tell me about your new neighbors.
They're black. Do you mind keeping it down?
If you don't comply, I'll tell the manager.
Somebody's taking home security serious.
Hi, I am Karen Drexler. I'm your neighbor. You need to be taking your trash cans off the curb right when the trash is picked up.
Is she nice?
Yeah, she's nice.
Wait a minute. We have a white entitled neighbor named Karen.
Karen, okay, enjoy yourself.
There she is, slaving away in the kitchen. I've come across some very suspecting teenagers.
Suspecting?
Can you please hurry up? Please, they're very aggressive. Yep.
I left my wallet with my ID at home. Leave us alone. We didn't do anything.
How the heck did you end up moving to this neighborhood? Next thing you know, we have criminals. You take care of him, and I will take care of her.
Would you mind stepping out of the car?
My office has uncovered some disturbing information on her and her brother.
She doesn't like black people.
We have a search warrant.
Well, I'm black.
I know, she doesn't like you either.
I want to sell the house.
What I do? You can't tell me, huh?
We are living next door to a racist. You went in her house?
You wouldn't want your wife to know our little secret, right?
That was not standard police procedure back there.
What do we have here?
We got a hammer. Everything looks like nails.
You people are very angry.
Shut your mouth, boy.
Bad things happen to people that don't comply.
So, I cannot believe this lady. And I can't believe that it's over the top. It is quite funny. So she installs these more cameras on her house because these black neighbors moved in. She's feeling very threatened and vulnerable because she thinks, I don't know, because they're black. I don't know. But what do you think? It is pretty funny.
Kind of made me giggle at first.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, what the heck? So, I think the one thing that popped out was that popped off in my mind was the flag.
Oh, the Confederate flag.
Yes, Confederate flag.
It was
and she had it on her soap bottle in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, over the top, trying too hard.
I feel like it's like a plot to spread paranoia.
Yeah.
It's because the security cameras, I think that's like a paranoia thing, a paranoia item. Mm-hmm. Because Karen, she's paranoid of these black people. And they're and the left is trying to spread that paranoia to everyone in America.
So they depict this white lady to be very mean and rude, says rude things, and then they have the really nice black neighbors that are really nice, and and in all actuality, white people are really nice too.
Yeah. And sometimes black people can be rude.
Yeah. I mean, it goes both ways, but I mean, to be honest, I don't know. I think it's trying way too hard.
Yeah. I wonder what the critics say about this movie.
We'll find out. I'm really curious as to who wrote and directed this movie.
I think it's by Coke Daniels.
And then I want to know, like, who wrote it. Because it would be kind of cool to dig to see what they are all about, what their agenda is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Who did they work for?
Who did they work for?
Yeah.
So, have you heard of these Barnes & Noble redesigns?
Yes. I've heard of them. I haven't really seen much of them, but I heard that Barnes & Noble was recreating a theme for classic tales.
Well, I'll pull up an image. I'll let you see it. So this right here.
Oh.
It shows Frankenstein, Wizard of Oz, Moby Dick, Treasure Island, Secret Garden, Romeo and Juliet, and tons more depicted as people of color.
Okay. And, my first instinct seeing this reminds me of how Confederate statues and historical monuments have been torn down.
It's like
trying to recreate our history and in the name of good. But this is not good.
No.
This is kind of on the momentum of that feeling of, at least that's what I get. I don't know.
Yeah. Basically, it's changing the way you perceive characters of these new books. I think it's a plot to bring their agenda, like okay, class, here's your new books, having these.
And they will have never seen the real classic book.
No, especially the new generation. They'll think, oh, this is the book now, and it has always been this way. But it really hasn't. And especially liberal, far-left parents are gonna put this book to their children.
Yeah, eat it up.
Yeah. So this really frightens me. What are, like, your thoughts on, like, what the new generation will think or what they'll think about these new books?
Well, to state the obvious, they're gonna, especially being taught critical race theory in schools, if it's a part of the curriculum, and then they add in these books, it's just gonna reaffirm to the children, like, oh yeah, this is true.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you see that? Or I don't know if I'm explaining myself right, but
It's okay, you don't have to speak.
It's, yeah, I don't know, I'm speechless. Every day something new happens, and so the new all the rage thing, no pun intended, but it's racist babies.
Who could guess?
So yeah, is your baby racist? I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's...
Is your baby racist?
Yeah.
Were you racist as a baby?
I don't
think so. If you don't remember, I mean, like,
I could
it just
be.
seems weird to be flaunting this around. Like, babies, I'm not even sure if they see color.
I don't know if
at that age.
I don't think they even know what pronouns, race. I don't know even the English language is at that age.
No, they know their diaper needs to get changed. They know when they're hungry and when they're tired and they're hot and they're cold, which is really your basic needs.
Yeah.
Like using their 5 senses.
So, I've heard about this before a little bit, about babies 6 months old are racist. I didn't really pay much attention to it. I just thought, oh, another day, another lie. And now that I'm hearing you say it, I know it's a more big issue than I originally thought.
Yeah, they're really pushing that.
That
introducing color. So, like, something that you would have never thought of before. Bringing it to light. Here's a black little boy, you know, or here's a Asian little girl, or here's a, I don't know, Samoan little girl. I don't know.
Pacific.
But when you bring to light these races, you're more open to knowing what they are, which is good, but, like,
they shouldn't worry about that.
No, there's no need to be worrying about that.
They're like putting a big burden on the kid, even though they have no control over it.
Yeah.
Like shaming them. Yeah.
Especially being white. It's like, what?
And you know, not every white person is a white supremacist.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
So, I guess with that, we'll end. And, gosh, thanks for listening. We appreciate it. And have a good night.
Goodbye.
Bye.